Hi, this is Rory, and I'm standing here in the yard after a walk with Zeke, and what I'm experiencing is a change in the weather. It's fall now. We're in the end of October. We're going to be starting moving towards winter, but it's still fall, which I love. One day it's really cold. One day it looks really rainy, but it's actually warm. Coat one day, sweater the next, t-shirt the next. So, are you in a relationship that feels like that? The weather of the relationship is always changing. Or your love life in general, your dating life, it always feels like it's changing. One minute a guy shows up and it's all warm, and the next minute nothing, a total freeze out. Everybody's shut down and it feels freezing cold. Well, here is a tip, a tool for how to kind of shift the perception of that. Life is so full of ups and downs, and people who are smiling, and people who are mean, and people who are crying all around you, and the voices and the selves inside you feel all those different things all the time. Your emotional soup is always kind of bubbling and always moving around, and you feel different things at different moments. Well, I know a lot of people talk about the word embrace the fear, embrace this, and that's nice. What I talk about is literally falling in love with it. So what does that mean, falling in love with it? Well, you know what falling in love with a person feels like. I know what it felt like when I saw my grandson. It was totally and completely a moment where I looked at his face and I wasn't worried about how I was going to be with him. I wasn't worried about whether he was going to smile or laugh at me. All I could feel was this incredible feeling of love toward him. And it was more than affection, it was almost romantic. And I could feel the connection of that to the falling in love in a romantic relationship. It was a whole body, wholehearted response. It was a moment, and I knew it wasn't just, oh, I love you so much. It was, I'm falling in love with you. I'm in love with you. I could feel that. I could say it because it felt real. So try that for your emotions. When the weather changes, don't go, oh, it's hot now. I wish it was cold, like I do sometimes. Say, oh, it's warm out. T-shirt time, and see if you can, instead of feeling the distance you instinctively want to put from that change, see if you can fall in love with it. Like, oh, whole body, oh, warmth, and find the things in the day that are lovely, that make you stop and feel this warmth in your body. Now move that to a man. Sometimes you just feel angry, right? Sometimes you just feel cold. Sometimes you feel, ugh. Sometimes you feel bored. Sometimes you feel nothing. You feel just drained. So what you want to do is fall in love with that feeling, that drained feeling, that icky feeling, that angry feeling. And what'll happen is another change in the weather. Your feelings will not change because you're trying to change them or stomp them out. They will change because there's so many emotions in your soup that just move. It'll move from pain to interest and curiosity. It'll move from sadness to anger. It'll move from anger to pain. That is what it is to be human and have all these options as a woman, especially. So when you look at your man and you feel the weather changing in a way that doesn't feel so great, look at him in a different way. Find the things that you sometimes fall in love with. An eyebrow, something in his shirt that he's wearing. And see if you can allow your whole body and self and mind and heart to fall in love with that. To fall in love with that part in that moment, and see if it changes the whole weather system between you. You might be surprised that the freeze just thaws. The warm humidity of one feeling that you might have for him, or maybe a strong sexual connection, turns into something you don't like, anger or frustration. Fall in love with that and see if that turns into warmth, and see what happens with him. You're not the only one in this relationship, right? You're not the only one across the table on a date. You're not the only one on the Zoom screen. So what you want to do is give him a moment to see if he shifts, if the weather changed between you. Okay, so let me know how this works.